This is the men's room.
Forget it, man, and get with the countdown. Shake this square world and blast off for Kicksville. The Trippers, the Grasshoppers, the Hip Ones, all gathered in secrecy and flying high as a kite.
You're listening to the men's room with Miles and Thrill.
Answer your blank question. I hate 2 minutes, but I heard myself doing blank. 844-999-OLA.
One more quick comment. I enjoy this one. I gave myself a black eye trying to pull up my tank top because my boobs were hanging out. My hand slipped and I backhanded myself in the face.
Oh, Ted. Speaking of boobs, Steve and I are just randomly walking down the street, okay, today.
Oh, this
All right?
was insane.
Okay, so these two women are walking toward us, okay? They're not paying any attention to us.
They're just talking to themselves.
I think both of us collectively are looking at them as they might have been attractive. Now, this one woman, she has a zipper jacket on, right? Mm-hmm. And she decides to zip down her jacket for whatever reason. Do we know?
No idea why.
No idea why. And then out pop her boobs, and she zipped it right back up.
But there was no rhyme or reason.
It was the most bizarre thing at least I haven't been that lucky in a long time.
A downtown street with a whole lot of people. I mean, there's people everywhere.
So many questions.
Yes.
Wait, was there anything under the jacket?
No. This is what we're saying.
No.
What time of day?
And were they more?
It was about lunchtime.
Oh, maybe they were just hot and sweaty.
Were
in
they?
there.
No, wait a minute. Were they more well endowed?
No,
they were
perky and happy.
They were, yeah.
Okay.
And they demanded that I look.
Yes, they did.
So they were not large.
No.
Yeah, well,
they were manageable size.
They were manageable size.
I mean,
she was very attractive.
Citrus fruit, melon.
Yeah, thank you,
probably.
Ted.
Probably.
A bigger citrus.
I thought they looked perfect.
All right, so we're talking like
they
grapefruit.
looked fantastic.
They looked perfect.
And for no reason, she just did it real quick.
And then she zipped it down, and then she went, and we went, oh, God, and she zipped it right back up. And we just
Do you think she forgot she didn't have a shirt on?
I'm not sure.
Grapefruit's like what, a good C cup, probably.
These were physically attractive.
They were
like
fantastic.
On
they
a
really
D.
were.
You don't just unzip your jacket when you have...
she did, Robin.
Did they
you
fit,
said there's
did
a
they
lot of
fit
questions.
Her frame?
They
or,
fit her frame.
Or do you think they were new?
This wasn't like the woman in the tank top.
These were boobs, man.
This isn't like the woman in the tank top where they're hanging down.
Right.
Like, you know.
I'm going to say she knew what she was doing. Maybe she liked the look of you guys.
No.
Or whether she did or not,
I
she
don't
got
think
it.
so. Okay.
And there's only one. You said there's many questions. There's one.
I said,
Will
hey.
you do it again? But we didn't ask.
Men's room blank question.
Yeah.
I hate to admit it, but I hurt myself doing blank. 844-999-OLA.
How did I forget that happened? I'm like, damn, that's right. Hello, Dean. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, bitches.
Hola. So what did you do?
All right. So I used to be stationed in Whidbey Island, and I love listening to you guys' show. And first time ever calling in, I actually got restationed back here after a year deployment.
Cool.
And when I was there, I was taking off the tow hook that came stock on my Jeep Wrangler because I was going to install an actual tow hitch. So I was using a pry bar because I was having an issue getting the bolt loose, and I was going to make enough room so I can actually get a jigsaw in there and cut the bolt off.
Okay.
Well, in the process of using that pry bar, the pry bar broke loose, and on Jeep Wranglers, the license plate is on the side of the car and sticks out.
All right.
And I went straight down, and I hit my face right on the license plate cover. And at first I was like, ow, that really hurt. Then I looked down and I see blood pouring out of everywhere.
Yeah.
I moved my tongue around and realized I'm missing teeth.
Oh, God. Oh, no. Oh, no.
I ended up chipping the two lower center teeth and breaking the next one over to the left completely in half to the gum line.
God damn.
So bad that they penetrated through my bottom lip, and I had to get 8 stitches put in.
8 stitches. Now, Dean,
Yep.
How long did it take you to kind of recover before you headed to the hospital?
Well, I hit it. I walked in the house, and I yelled for my wife, and I was like, you need to call an ambulance right now. This is not good. And she's like, what'd you do? And I'm like, just holding my mouth. And I move my mouth and show her, and she goes, oh, my. And so she calls the police and the ambulance, and because I was base security, my coworker showed up.
Oh, good.
Jesus.
To make it even worse. So I got nicknames for weeks and
Like what? What were some of the
memes about toe
nicknames?
hitches. What?
What were some of the nicknames?
Toe hitch was one of them. And
Yeah. U-Haul?
that
Oh,
was
nice.
pretty much the main one.
Dean, where are you originally from?
Tennessee.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
Go Vols.
Okay.
What, were you hearing the accent?
I was hearing a little O in there, and I was wondering if he was from like Philly or Baltimore.
I was not hearing it.
You didn't hear the O?
No.
I hate to admit it, but I heard myself doing blank 844-999-OLA.
Hello, Michael. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, Big Hola.
Hola.
Hey, so, long-time listener, first-time caller, Ted, you're the man.
Thanks, dude.
Probably about 10 years ago, I was in the military, and as part of the base activities, we were having a morale day, and we were having a soccer tournament. So
They should just send you to, like, the bunny ranch.
Not that much
You know
morale.
what I mean? Like, here, morale day.
No, not that much morale.
Okay.
You got served
But,
too much morale.
All right. Like a buffet or something, anything.
Yeah, right. So what happened was we were having a soccer tournament, and I have zero business being on a soccer field. I'm a pretty large man, and as I'm jiggling down the field, my 260-pound physique full on my ankle. I roll my ankle in a divot. It's all cracking as it's rolling, and my teammates, they pick me up. We go to the corpsman on the base, take X-rays, and he's like, "Oh, you're fine. You just you sprained your ankle really bad. Just stay off of it for a little bit." So here I am. I'm doing sentry watch on the base. I'm walking around. It got so bad I had to tie the laces on my boot so tight that it cut the circulation off.
Jesus,
Just had my foot would go numb just so that I can get around on the day. And after about 2 weeks, I couldn't take it anymore. I asked for a second opinion. I wanted to go to an orthopedic specialist. They look at the very same X-rays that the corpsman on the base took, and he was like, "You know your ankle is broken, right?" I'm like,
Yeah.
"What are you talking about?"
Man.
He's like, "Yeah, no, right here. You tore the tendon completely off the bone, and it's broken in 3 different spots."
God.
Walked around 2 weeks on a broken ankle.
I did the same
But
thing,
here's
man.
the thing. I feel like if it's broken in that many places, I mean, wouldn't you think the doctor would see one of those things?
you know what?
Just one. Like,
I
it's
had-
broken in three
well-
places. The tendon's off the bone. Like, you didn't notice any one of
I
those
was going to ask,
things.
but like the corpsmen, right? Like they're not doctors. They're just like the medics.
But if you don't notice
Yeah.
that in an X-ray, then just don't
Well, most
make
people-
X-rays
most-
part of the thing. That's all.
Most radiologists can read
That's
an
like
X-ray,
asking me
you
to
know?
go in there and tell, like, I don't know.
I mean, even radiologists who aren't doctors can read an X-ray. So,
Right. That's all.
depending on where it is. But at the same time, I did the same thing. They just assumed I severely sprained my ankle, so they did X-rays and they didn't see that the fracture that was in there. The thing never healed. Turns out I was like walking on that thing for 6 weeks. And it was broken. So
Did you
then they
go
had to
back, or did you find out later?
Then they stick you in a cast and all that crap. So it's like it sucks because it's double time for the healing. Men's or blank question. I hate to admit it, but I hurt myself doing blank. 844-999-OLA.
Hello, Clay. Welcome to the men's room.
Oh, what's going on?
Hola.
I hate to admit it because my story is particularly stupid and shameful. I froze my face with liquid nitrogen.
Were you huffing?
Yep.
And you froze your face, man.
Yeah. I was like 14 or 15. I was stuck at home, wanted to get high, looking around, saw the can dust off. Nitrous oxide is a propellant. Little known fact about nitrous oxide is it will make you go unconscious. So I'm sitting at home, put the tube in my mouth, hit the trigger on it, passed out. When I did that, I fell back and it flipped it upside down and sprayed the liquid onto my lip and my face. So I woke up, laying there, face feels funny when I looked at it. It was all swollen up like, half my lip, super fat, started blistering. I looked like a zombie, turned black, skin fell off after about a week.
Oh, dude.
Jeez,
What
man.
did did anyone find you, or did you wake up before anyone realized what had
Yeah,
happened?
no, I was probably out for, I don't know, like a minute, maybe. But I felt it, immediately ran into the bathroom, started running my face underwater, thinking I can save this, I can fix it. But yeah, within the course of a couple hours, it was blisters. Yeah, it was bad. I still got scars on my lips on that side.
Is it
So
is it?
at home?
Are they
Leave the
noticeable?
huffing alone. It's bad for you.
Yeah, is it noticeable?
To me, Nobody else seems to ever notice it.
Yeah.
I'll call somebody down and show it to them. Just that over in the corner, it just kind of goes from just my skin, kind of the skin tone. You know, just don't have like a lip line.
All right, now, if someone did notice and then asked, would you tell them, look, man, I was huffing?
Oh, absolutely.
Excellent. Okay. Yeah. And did you ever try huffing again?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
No.
Lesson learned. Yeah.
God damn, man.
Wow, I didn't know that. I didn't know anything. I'm not educated in that world.
Which, I mean, I
know
need
people
to be.
get high that way. But,
Sure.
I just didn't know the
Feels
formatics
weird to
behind
say it that way.
What's that?
I'm not educated in the world of huffing
I just
stuff.
never looked at like.
Well,
I don't know.
I mean, huffing's just not an educated decision.
What I mean is, I wouldn't know what products were used in the process. You know, I wouldn't.
Is it WD-40 or?
I know at the end of a can of Ready Whip. You know what I mean? I can whip it, but past that, I don't know
Whip
much
it
about
good.
the aerosol lifestyle as far as that is.
It must get you high, man.
Yeah.
I mean, how many mugshots have you seen floating around in the guy's face of silver or gold because they're just
Oh, yeah.
puffing in all the fumes? And didn't we bump into a guy with a silver face?
Oh, totally
recently?
we did.
Where the hell was it?
Oh man, he was absolute. Wasn't it in? I think it was in L.A. His whole
He came
face.
to bum a cigarette, and then he started talking. We realized, all right, that he's jacked up on something. And then when he would turn his head a little bit, it's like
You realize his whole face was
I
kind of
think
metallic,
he was huffing silver paint, man. Like he wasn't a street performer,
but he kind of looked like the Tin Man. Like he'd turn and get some like glitter, and it wasn't like strip club glitter.
Right. It's like,
It was
what is
like-
with this guy? Then it's like, because we realize he won't stop talking to us.
Yeah.
And he's in a great mood.
Oh, he's pumped.
Still to come, the return of Who Sucks Last, and Ask the Men's Room, our question, Men's Room blank style. I hate to admit it, but I hurt myself doing blank. We've also got your emails on the way. You are listening to the Men's Room Radio Network.
Hola, bichola. You have entered the men's room.
Men's Room blank question. I hate to admit it, but I hurt myself doing blank, and here come those emails to the Men's Room at mensroomlive.com.
You've got mail. You've got mail.
Oh, what do we got? Guys, I was on a folding ladder working with a hammer on the outside of a house. I finished what I was doing, set the hammer on top of the ladder, then climbed down. Then I grabbed the ladder to move it to the next spot I needed to work on. And I forgot the hammer was there until it slammed down right on top of my head. I saw stars and tweeting birds for a few seconds and had the worst headache ever for the next few days, but that wasn't the worst of it. For the following 6 months, my girlfriend, in private and public, called me Hammerhead. That from Dave. Guys, I got two stories. I hate to admit, but I injured myself walking a poodle. I was taking a standard poodle out to its owner from the boarding area at a vet's office that I worked at. A standard poodle, by the way, is a larger dog, but it makes it no less embarrassing that when the poodle tugged as we were going down a freshly mopped concrete ramp, I slipped and comically flew up in the air and landed hard on one butt cheek. I found out at the ER that I'd in fact fractured my pelvis. And my husband hates to admit it, but he hurt himself shopping at Walmart. I stopped by a Walmart after taking my husband and his brother out to the bar so we could grab a few groceries for their dad. Well, my husband was pushing the cart like a good drunk monkey when his brother jumped on his back. This shocked my husband, thus knocking over the cart. My brother-in-law then picked up the cart and hit my husband in the forehead. He left a bloody floor and overturned cart while my brother-in-law is stripping off his shirt to put on the head wound. The next morning at the emergency room, yes, he would not let me take me that night, I had the pleasure of recounting this tale multiple times to professionals, including a nurse who used to be my gym teacher. He got 4 stitches above his eyebrow. The kicker is 6 months later, my son was in the ER with an injury, and I heard the nurse say at the station, "Hey, that's a shopping cart guy's wife and kid." Rock on, bitches. That from Stephanie. Almost killed myself at a trampoline gym once. Turns out I can't do a backflip. Lucky to be alive. That from Matt. Another trampoline story. Gentleman of Wobbin, over Memorial Day weekend, I hurt myself by trying to cut a zip tie with a pair of kitchen shears. Ended up slipping over the zip tie, gouged my hand, and gave myself 7 stitches. I wish I could say I was drunk, but I was sober at the time. Plenty of drinking happened after that, though. Keep on rocking from Amanda. And guys, my wife and I had just finished having sex. Don't ask me why, but I thought it would be funny as hell to fling the condom across the room like a rubber band to shoot it.
All right.
Wrong. Hand slipped, and it came back and hit me in the eye. Started losing vision in that eye and had blood in my iris. Went to the ER. Everything was fine, but man, that was a painful experience, both in pride and body.
Is that from the condom or your sperm? If I'm your wife, like, oh my God.
That from
corroding your eyeball.
That from Noah. Any from the comments section.
I'm going to share one with you, Miles. You had said earlier, and to your point, there were a lot of negative trampoline stories. And you said, are there any positive ones? And it says, Miles, I have a positive trampoline story for you. I touched my first booby.
Oh, that's good.
See, there you go.
Nice.
Do we have time for a few extra emails here for the men's room at mensroomlive.com?
You've got mail. You've got mail.
Hello, Michelle. My son, Zach, pronounced Tinky Poo Poo, is 15. Can I get some turtle wax with a Suck It Up cupcake in the paws? Thanks, guys. Love the show. That from Eric.
So, suck it up, cupcake!
It's time to take off the leash.
Oh, Michelle, it's Brian's birthday. Daily listeners of you guys for 4 years. He'll be 28 and would love to hear a Here Comes the Dope Pusher. A penis is too small, followed by a little Ray Lewis. Happy birthday, babe. That from Smooch.
Here comes the dope pusher.
Snap a picture of yourself.
Oh, it's my 10,563rd day alive, 29 years. I would love to hear the Dirty Germans getting excited for a hike. Thanks, guys. That from John.
Yeah, the only kind of hike I get excited for is hiking up your skirt.
Yeah. See, this hiking is going to be a lot like you're going to do later. Up and down we go.
Bitches love to give a birthday shout out to my father-in-law, Robert, who is sometimes an ass, and that's okay. Could you give him a Your Penis is Too Small, followed by an original fish sandwich? Thanks from the best damn son-in-law he could ask for, Ashton.
Is that guy just asking for, like, a bad time?
Sounds like
Yeah, father-in-law's all right. Give him his penis is too small.
He's a bit of an ass.
I'm the best.
Guys in Wobbin, my boyfriend Chris turns 52 glorious years old today. He builds hydroplanes for a living. So if you guys could give him a fish sandwich and some dirty Germans talking about being the first to cross the finish line, that would be awesome. That from the lovely Wendy.
Fish sandwich.
Yeah, anything that gets me wet, I'm always first to cross the finish line.
Yeah, and these dirty Germans are so dirty, but we're also selfish. I will be across that finish first.
All right, guys, here we go. Happy, happy, happy birthday. Happy, happy, happy birthday. Happy, happy, happy birthday to you,
bitches.
Ya's a Dirty Germans brought to you by Men's Room Original Sausage. Available through Uli's World Famous Sausage, mensroomlive.com, and other fine retailers. Schweinefly.
Here, I'm going to get through a couple more days. Guys, your current 2018 dump button count, mid-year update. Here we go, everybody.
Oh, wait.
All right,
it deserves something a little better.
Okay.
Right? I mean,
ladies and gentlemen, your 2018 dump button count, mid-year update. Gentlemen, your current number of dump buttons used for 2018, excluding your show now, is 47. That is on pace to beat last year's total of 92. The total in FCC fines saved this year, are you ready for this, has been $15,275,000 American dollars not given to the FCC.
Shouldn't we get some kind of bonus from the company? Like, hey, we could have cost you over $15 million, but we didn't.
What a savings. As always, this excludes Ted versus the FCC. Notable drops, February 5th. There were 3 total with Wade, the public driving danger guy, and a double from another caller from a double play. February 14th was poop on a slide. A couple more instances. First caller from the San Diego affiliate. Miles dropping the S-bomb March 22nd.
Nice work.
There was only one drop during Weed Week, and that was the Monster. And the Monster has only been dropped once this year. The Monster has only shown up once on April 12th. Enjoy your afternoon, gentlemen. That from Kyle, the unofficial Department of Homeland Security liaison to the men's room. Kyle, we appreciate you keeping all these amazing statistics.
He does this every year. It's fantastic.
Miles, have you been the top cursor on the show for the last few years?
I think so, man. I think I'm proud to say I believe so.
Proud to say it.
Yes.
Proud to say it.
Best in the business.
You know what? Yeah.
The rest of you guys don't want jobs, do you?
Must have been feeling relaxed that day. Gentlemen, ironically, yesterday, the first part of the show, you guys brought up bears several times, and I actually hit a bear on my way home from work while listening. Yes, I hit a bear with my car. I guess technically...
Well, we were talking
about bears. I guess technically the bear hit me. I was leaving McCord Air Force Base and headed home on a road that is used pretty regularly, but it's still considered somewhat of a back road. The bear was running on all fours and came barreling out of the woods full speed while I was traveling about 45 miles an hour. I slammed on the brakes and swerved, but could not avoid the impact. He hit my front passenger fender with either his head or shoulder and rolled down the rest of the car. I don't know what happened to him. Military, police, and wildlife guys were notified and are trying to find the wounded bear. My car sustained heavy damage, though. I've never encountered a bear before, but according to the wildlife guy, people hit a bear about 3 times a year, mostly on that road.
Same bear.
It was pretty scary. Not sure if it could be considered the riskiest thing I've done.
Eddie the bear.
Driving home from work, but it definitely shook me up. Love you guys. Thanks. That from Katie.
See, it's the third time that same bear.
Katie.
I don't know why it's funny that the same bear keeps like stumbling out there.
Yeah.
Like, dude, stop crossing that road there. What are you doing?
A couple more.
He never lessons.
You asked what foreign object was found inside your body.
Oh, boy.
I was about 9 or 10, and my buddy Arnie was picking his nose and just pulled out a fishing weight the size of a BB. He didn't recall how it got there. Cheers and rock on. That from Eric in North Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada.
That dude's still alive?
Just pulled out.
How did I get that in my nose?
Oh, all Canadians have a fishing weight stuck up in their nose just in case they happen to be out and need a good weight to fish with.
That's why they're a security risk.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to assume he swallowed that. Right? Is he over kids?
Oh, baby.
Yeah, but it's in his nose.
Mm-hmm. But can't you like cough it back or somehow
yeah,
get
maybe
it in there?
I just feel like maybe you'd remember that time you were eating, fishing weights.
Mm-hmm.
That's just me, though.
And one more, guys, on your question. When the wife and I were young, were poor and had no medical insurance, I found a cyst on my boy sack. So, being that we had brand new razor blades and plenty of rubbing alcohol at work, editing tape, and cleaning the recorder heads, I grabbed some blades from work and a bottle of alcohol and went home. Went into the bathroom and sliced the bad boy off. Real men do their own minor surgery. That from Drepp in Baltimore.
Yeah, that used to be one of our bosses.
Exactly. So I cleaned off the boy's sack. There you go. All right, still to come, we will drink and toast with a shot of the day. The return of Ask the Men's Room is coming up. But first,
now, the Men's Room wants to know who sucks less.
Yay! Time for Who Sucks Less. See before every week to bring us 3 stories from the news. All of them suck. It is up to us to determine which of these 3 stories, in fact, suck the least. Now, if you like the Men's Room on Facebook or you follow us on Twitter, the debate at Men's Room Live is already underway on Who Sucks Less.
Yes, indeed, as we do every week. Yes, I have 3 stories. I had to explain this to a coworker today who came across one of the stories, and I said, listen, every week I do that. People get mad at me, so I want to make this clear. These are not stories about me and things I have done. These are stories of people we share the planet with. And in this case, we have some tourists in Newcastle, United Kingdom. They'll be taking on the paramedics and police officers of Chicago. And then we have a random man from the country of Turkey. But let's start in Newcastle. Whereas the story reads, in an absolutely unnecessary display of stupidity, a group of people were caught on video throwing rocks at seals, forcing the seals to jump off of cliffs. Now, the trio was seen moving a sign at St. Mary's Island Nature Reserve. They then filmed themselves as they threw rocks at one of the seals, causing great distress and panic, as you would imagine it would. The seal made its way to the edge of the cliffs, jumping in before the group then turned their attention to other animals at the sanctuary. So basically, they're chasing the seals off of cliffs by throwing rocks. Now, let's go to the fine
What
city.
did they jump into?
It may have been water below.
All right.
It could have been rocks.
I hope so.
I don't know. I honestly do not know, and it does not say.
I don't think they would jump into the
I believe
rocks
so.
for
There's
it.
a picture. I'm guessing maybe there's water. But see, you can't see the beach part. There's water
you
there.
really
but-
can't. You don't know what they're jumping into.
Yeah. Now let's go to Chicago, where obviously gun violence is out of control there. But a 17-year-old dude was shot multiple times in the head. When authorities arrived, there were other dead people laying on the street. As they do, they throw blankets over all the bodies. The difference is, when you do that, generally you check to see if they're actually dead. In this case, and you can see it on video, they threw a blanket over this kid. No one had checked them. You see the blanket moving.
On camera.
On camera, because guess what? He's still alive. Well, at that point, they eventually got over to try to help him out. They did CPR, all of this, put him on life support, but he died shortly thereafter.
They were doing a television report, and someone said, hey, that body's moving in the background.
So keep in mind, the authorities went there to investigate a shooting. All right, so they've already covered the bodies, and now they're collecting evidence. So no one is seeing this guy move except for the cameraman saying, like,
hey, guys.
Yeah. An hour after the
It
shooting.
seems wild that nobody noticed the body.
Nobody noticed.
On live tell, it was a live cut too.
Yeah.
And then, what do they just not check? They just,
Then he ran
over.
over.
Right.
Then he ran over live on television and started checking him. I'm like, oh God, he's alive!
Right.
I took the sheet off of him. It was live.
But we're not done yet. Now let's go to Turkey, where a man has been arrested after a dog was found with its legs and tail chopped off and then dumped in the woods to die. Sadly, the puppy did die during surgery after it was rescued from a forest in the something district of Turkey. This got the attention of the Turkish president, whose name I can't pronounce. He said in an election rally, basically, police had detained a construction machine operator in relation to the puppy's death. All right? And there's no rhyme or reason for why he did it. And they offer up a picture of that, which be happy you don't see. So again, to reiterate, we have the group of people that were visiting Newcastle throwing rocks at seals with the express purpose to get them to jump off of a cliff. We do not know what was at the bottom of the cliff. There was the 17-year-old shooting victim in Chicago. They just assumed he was dead, threw a blanket on him. He was under the blanket for an hour alive, and because of a live news telecast, that's how anyone noticed he was even there. And then we have the man in Turkey that chopped off the legs and tail of a puppy before dumping it in the woods.
the issue I have with the coroner is like,
what, Chicago? You mean?
Yeah, before you throw a sheet on somebody, like, don't you have to check their pulse? Like,
in theory, you know, and so part of the outcry is like, look, in Chicago, this happens so much. These people are so over it. And I know it's not an excuse, but it's some people were dead. He was shot in the head. They just make the assumption. That's not the way to do it. But if you live in a place like that, in that particular area.
Right. I just feel bad as you feel like if it was an hour long.
If it was an hour long, he's under the sheet.
Right. Could they have done something?
Sadly enough, Mike and I agreed earlier that we believe that they suck the least.
The people who are throwing at the seals?
No. The paramedics or police in Chicago.
You think they suck the least?
Yeah, not by much.
I think they suck the most.
Maybe.
I don't know the protocol of it. I know that kid,
I mean, you should check
I know
pulses
that the
and
kid
all
later
that.
died at the hospital.
Right.
I don't understand enough of the circumstances. I just think that was the most unfortunate story. So maybe it's the fact that that's the most unfortunate story of them all, because maybe if they just would have paid attention in that time period, however long it was, that kid's life could have been saved.
The only reason I think they suck the least, because it's a horrible story, is that there were 9 bodies on the sidewalk. So they had a bit of distraction. Throwing the rocks at the seals, express purpose, and cutting the legs and tail off of the dog. That was your intent. The other people that, like, look, it's horrible what happened in Chicago. They effed up their job.
All right.
Right,
Yeah.
but I'm with Miles. An hour there, that kid, maybe that person could have survived.
Okay, but keep in mind, the kid had 3 bullet holes in his head.
And there's 9 bodies, so I get how they they check the first 6 victims are all dead. Who knows? It's not an excuse, but I just feel like in that situation,
It's a tough one.
That seems more reasonable than to make the decisions that the other ones do.
Okay.
See, I mean, that's why I asked about what was the SEALs jumping into, because it doesn't say the SEALs died. Now, you obviously called...
And you're right. Maybe they did, maybe they didn't. That I do not know. It could have been a 5-foot cliff. It could have been a 50-foot cliff. It could
Right,
have been
obviously
water.
that's horrible. There's no reason to harass any animal like that. And it's traumatic.
Yeah, but you know what, man? I mean, like, you think about what orcas and great white sharks, man. Their life, that might be the easiest thing than being in the water and having one of those predators come up on them. I don't know. It would take a seal to know.
Well, I figure if they wanted to be in the water, they'd be in the water.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm going to take the SEALs as sucking the least, though.
All right.
Just because of my theory, they're getting chased
They're not
off a
getting
cliff
hurt.
into a water. Right.
What if you
So they're
found out
still-
they're slamming rocks? Would you
Well, if
maintain?
they're flopping on rocks,
We just don't know.
we don't.
In your scenario, the seals suck the least.
Right, because they're flopping,
But
they're jumping into water,
I
and they're
don't
SEAL
know.
stuff.
Yeah.
On Facebook, Mark says, I'll have to go with the 17-year-old shooting victim sucking the least. The other 2 were deliberate, conscientious acts by people to hurt the seals and the puppy.
Yeah, that's where I am.
So basically, there's a lot of people about that on the same tip as that.
But again, the thing with Chicago, and I know what you're saying about the other bodies.
Yeah, it's
being there
not
and
an
everything,
excuse.
but it's just like he's the coroner. Like
Right.
his first job is to decide whether these people are alive or dead.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
Well, I
Ted,
should take that back.
it's bad.
By the time you call
just-
the coroner, he's somebody.
Well, yeah.
He already thinks everybody's dead.
Now look, and again,
Sean,
I agree that it's awful. I just think in this scenario,
Sean D says, Jesus Christ, well, my day is ruined.
hey man, look. The problem, it's not even like these are the first 3 stories I see. There's like 20 of them, and
Would
then
it help if you knew more about the sea lion story?
we got
depends.
SEAL info.
Do you have more info?
There are rocks.
Oh,
Okay, all right. So now we know
Did they die?
they're jumping on the rocks,
I mean-
Ted. Okay, All right, now, do you still
I'm
feel
holding
the
out
same?
hope here for these seals.
They jumped on the rocks.
Robert says, as sad as the circumstance is, the shooting victim sucks the least. The other two are in a tie for the worst a-holes on this planet.
Ted, I'm just asking.
17-year-old.
We got rocks now. Mm-hmm. We've added rocks. So, all right, so there's no more fluffy, they got away with Disney stuff.
So they probably.
I just can't get over that this guy, there's a chance he could have survived, but they just threw the sheet over him.
Okay.
I can't say they suck the least. And I'm hoping it was a short drop for the Seals.
They landed on rocks, Ted. It wasn't good.
If you happen to like the men's room on Facebook, the debate continues on who sucks less.
What do you think, Miles?
At Twitter, at men's room live. That's a lot of different things there.
It is. They all suck.
There's a lot going on there. I'm not sure where I'm at yet. Yeah. Still think the 17-year-old shooting victim is the most unfortunate,
horrible.
Obviously.
I agree.
All right, let's see here. Coming to Drink and Toast with the shot of the day. Ask the Men's Room is coming up next. You are listening to the Men's Room Radio Network.
We return to the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill.
Coming up, we will drink and toast with the shot of the day, but first.
It's been said that there are no stupid questions. We disagree. Because you keep asking them, will I ever find love? Why is the sky blue? Is that rash an STD? Is the world round? Is my mom a whore? Questions that need answers. And yes, we can help. This is Ask the Men's Room.
If you have a question for Ask the Men's Room, just shoot us an email here to the men's room at mensroomlive.com. Make the subject Ask the Men's Room, and away we go. Start with this one from the lovely Katie. Says, guys, I just started dating this guy, and I asked him to go to the store and give me some ice cream. All right. So he comes back with plain-ass vanilla. This is not the first time he has pulled something like this. I fear I may be dating Mike Hawk's doppelganger. Is this a deal breaker?
No. You got to be specific. Look, man, one thing is a guy, and any guy will tell you this, new relationship, old relationship, you've been dating. My parents have been married for 53 years, and my father is still smart enough to know. If my mother said go pick up ice cream, he would ask what kind you want, because if you don't, and we make the wrong choice, things go bad, so you just go vanilla. That's why I did it. Mm-hmm. You got to let him know, man.
All right.
Yeah, and it's ice cream. Deal breaker.
Right, in the end, you're eating ice cream.
I gotta say, man, I think vanilla is the best because you can do the most different things with it. You make milkshake, you make sundae.
Sure.
If you don't know what someone wants, again, if you're not going to be specific.
I thought it was thoughtful.
Yeah, there's that, too. He actually went and got your ice cream.
Yeah.
And I'd recommend you get French vanilla.
Yeah, how do you bitch about somebody?
French vanilla, vanilla bean.
You like the French vanilla better?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oui.
Bacholas, Thrill, guys, my girlfriend was wondering how you got your nickname of Thrill. She thinks it's because you dance to Thriller naked. That from Sean.
Yeah, she nailed it. That's exactly it.
That's not how you got your nickname.
Actually, my first day in radio, they had me operating the board for the Ken Rosenthal show. Ken Rosenthal now is Fox Network's de facto baseball guy. He's the Bob Costas for Fox,
more than the de facto Fox baseball guy, in my mind, he is probably the guy when it comes to information about Major League Baseball.
But he's a very kind guy. I was running the board. And so anyway, at the end of his show, he thanks anyone that helped. He had no idea what my name is, so his producer handed him a sheet of paper, and as he's closing out the show, he simply said, I'm going to thank Steve, the Thrill Hill, right? That's all he says. I go into work the next day. Everyone was just going, hey, Thrill. So part of it, I keep it as a tribute to the fact the guy is a very cool guy. He's a very good guy.
If you have a question for Ask the Men's Room, shoot us an email here to the men's room at mensroomlive.com and make the subject Ask the Men's Room. All right, Wobbin, have we made it to drinking time?
Somebody out there deserves to be recognized. And the Men's Room knows just who it is. So to you, we say, bottoms up, sailor. You're the toast of our shot of the day.
Drink time it is, and as usual, we head to the drink desk and Stephen Thrill Hill to find out who we're toasting.
Yes, indeed, and today we toast a 21-year-old man from Council Bluffs. I'm not sure what state that's in, but I will read your story as the paper printed it. A Council Bluffs man who's pleaded guilty to operating while intoxicated after police said they found him next to an upside-down car. He'll be sentenced in July. The 21-year-old man was arrested in March, sadly about a month before his 21st birthday. And according to police, officers were dispatched to a certain street at 2:20 a.m. for a vehicle reported to be resting on its top after striking other vehicles. Well, on the scene, investigators said they met the guy who immediately told them, look, I was drunk and his car's effed up. He had several signs of intoxication, smelled of alcohol. He had dried blood on his face from his nose, but he still declined medical treatment. On the way to county jail, he said he was drunk to the officer again, and at the jail, he did not pass several sobriety tests. On his first offense, he faces having his license suspended and might have to pay a fine. But the reason we're toasting him, his name is Benjamin Beer. Benjamin Beer. Yes, indeed.
Lived up to it.
Mm-hmm. So we pour this booze and we drink this booze because we think it's yummy.
Yummy!
So over the tongue and down the throat to party in our tummies. Down the hola, bitcholas!
Let's get caller 9 on the line right now for a little profile of this. 844-999-HOLA.
The shenanigans continue on the Men's Room Radio Network.